was a cloud, black cloud, and they were descending like the plague on these unfortunate girls that happened to be in the path of destruction that I created. It's story time. I just want to say first and foremost, this story is not going to be the best life and times of Amanda. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amanda, and I'm going to walk you through a very traumatic point in my childhood. May or may not have sent a girl to the hospital. Oh god. Don't think I've ever repeated this story to anybody else except my husband. Y'all are gonna hear all about the juicy, stupid details. So let me give you a little background, kind of lead up to what's going on in this situation. So growing up, I wasn't always the healthy awareness type of person that you see here today. That's how do I put this? I was a big girl. I was chunky. I was like that cute little fat kid that everyone like wanted to feed more food. And coming from an Italian family, it would have been inevitable that I was a rolling tub of lard by the time I was 9. I didn't fully like feel ashamed of my size or anything related to that. I loved my bread. And so when I was really little, eating like a literal trash can, my mom saw this as an opportunity to put me in sports so that I could run around and burn some calories, I guess. Cross country. For some reason, the whole cross country aesthetic vibed with my mom. Like, she always thought that that was such a cool thing for kids to do. So after a lot of coaxing, aka my mom leaving a bread trail to the car, which then brought me to my first cross-country meet. Yeah, that was fun. I was enrolled in cross-country and I wasn't prepared. When it came to running, I would run at an extremely slow pace. Talking like people who could walk could out-walk me. Ugh. But anyways, mom enrolled me in cross-country, and I being like 15 at the time, I was like, alright, this is my life now. I just got to adapt. So I did. Our cross-country team was made up of 11 girls, huge span of grade levels, just all running together like a pack of animals. And I had a coach, very into his job, like really loved cross country, you know what I'm saying? Lived and breathed cross country. He'd read magazines about cross country. He was ready to develop the best goddamn cross country team that the east side of Dedham, Massachusetts has ever seen. So we started doing our training. I don't know if any of you have ever done cross country before, but let me give you a fat person synopsis. You're running a lot. Whatever ailments you have, if you can't breathe properly, any sort of ailment whatsoever, shut the hell up, go run 3 miles. Got some shin splints? Go run 3 miles. Got your period? Go run 5 miles. This guy was a savage. Let me just adjust myself. Our coach was really into running in very weird places. Through our practice sessions, he would just find these like really obscure, weird places for us to run. Running up and down the stairwells in our school after hours, but there were still classes going on at certain points in the day. So you just see and hear a bunch of us just running up and down the stairs. Obviously me being the heaviest one of them all, huffing. I'm just imagining people in the classrooms just looking out, seeing 11 women just hustling up and down the stairs, sweating their asses off. Obviously me trailing in the back. It was an interesting time. But the most interesting running experience that we've had was the infamous trail run. So my coach was like, hey guys, I just found this trail in the woods that's connected to our campus. I need you to run there and follow this trail that I'm going to verbally tell you about and not show you a map. We're in junior high / high school, so we're just like, okay. He had no idea what the hell was going on. The guy read a lot of magazines, like he knew what he was talking about. He gave us a trail, and the thing that he specifically said was, as you are running towards this particular trail, you're going to see this landmark, and then next to that landmark is a bush. To make a full circle back to where you need to be, you need to go through the bush. This is what I heard. This is what I'm gonna stick to. We're off to the races. We're running. Everything's great. We were deep into the woods. Over the span of a couple months of me being in cross country, I actually ended up getting a lot better at running. So I was kind of in the middle of the pack, which was good for me. Running. And we're about halfway through in our run. And as I'm running, lo and behold, there's the landmark. I see it, it's right there. Then I look to my right, and there's that bush. Perfect, I'll just go right through that bush. That's exactly where they told us to go. Now you're probably wondering, where are the people in front of me since I was in the middle of the group? Those people just, they just flew off. Cross-country team, you're always gonna get the people that are like way too good to be in a junior varsity cross-country league in Dedham, Massachusetts. But they were there, and they were really good. They had taken off. They probably finished the trail by the time I hit the point that I needed to. I see said bush, and I went to said bush. There was a clearing in between the 2 bushes that were there. What do? I go straight in between the 2 bushes, because that's what my coach told me to. I'm jostling through because it's really close together, and I thought, this is really weird. These bushes are really close close together. People shouldn't be walking through this bush. But our coach said we had to go through it. So we gotta go through it. This is how my 15-year-old mind worked. Like, nothing didn't fit quite right. I'm jostling through the bushes, like I'm knocking things in, and I just kept on running. Now, the pack behind me had the wherewithal to see that going through the two bushes is actually a lot harder than just going around the path around the two bushes. 15-year-old mind, I just saw bushes must get through. But it turns out as they were about to make the round at the place where I went through the two bushes, this is where it gets bad. Little did I know, I inadvertently knocked over a hornet's nest. You know where this is going. All I could hear was a sound of screaming. Oh my god. I looked back, and about 100 feet back, where the bushes were, was a cloud, black cloud of hornets. And they were descending like the plague on these unfortunate girls that happened to be in the path of destruction that I created. At this point, I didn't know, and I didn't even realize that the hornet's nest was in fact in the bushes that I had knocked over and was now a waiting time bomb for these other girls that were behind me to meet. I'm not proud of that. No, these girls are flipping out. They're completely beside themselves, screaming their asses off. So I make it to the finish line. I meet my coach and I said, hey, it looks like a bunch of people were stung by hornets. And to him, Mr. Cross Country Digest was like, oh, that's normal. That's cross country for you. As he's saying this mid-sentence, his jaw just drops. I look behind me and there was one girl that was being carried by 3 other girls. She looked awful. She had puffs all over her face, one eye that completely closed shut, stung so many times on her face. And the worst part, she couldn't breathe. She was allergic to hornets, bees, all that kind of stuff, and she didn't find out until that day. Oh god. So before we could say anything else, he whips out his phone, calls 911. An ambulance came careening down about 2-3 minutes later, issued our girl, we'll call her Jennifer, an antihistamine, got her ass on a stretcher, hightailed it to the hospital. And I never saw her again. I'm kidding. I am totally, she's fine. She's fine. She came back to school 2 days later, and now she carried an EpiPen with her everywhere she went, being extremely cautious. Now, here's the thing. No one exactly knew why there was a bunch of hornets that were extremely angry that their home was disturbed, which made me realize no one saw me go through the bushes that knocked over the hornet's nest that caused this huge commotion and sent a girl to the hospital. Jennifer, if you are out there, I just want to say I'm sorry. It has been something that I'm extremely ashamed about. I feel like I should have said something. So kids, always look out for each other, especially when you're out in the woods. If you're going between 2 bushes, don't. So that is my story on how I sent a girl to the hospital. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So this is my very first story time, and I gotta say, I call it like a therapy session. Dark, deep shit that I did when I was a kid, sending someone to the hospital and never admitting it was me type of thing, airing out all the dirty laundry, people. If you guys enjoyed the story time, please be sure to give this video a like and to subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button, you know what to do, so that you can see more health-related content and more story times from me to you in the future. And remember everybody, love yourself, love your life. See you around. Bye!